What's up, Eurovision people? Do you love Eurovision as much as me? Reactions, live streams, discussions. This is the place to be. Come and subscribe. What are you waiting for? My content is free and honest. Come find me on Instagram. See you.
Wow.
Hey, it is Wednesday, and you know what that means. It is time for another live stream where we will be talking about all things Eurovision. What's up, Eurovision people? My name is Sean, and on my channel, I talk about all things Eurovision. And this is our last live stream for a little while. We have yet to discuss the Big Five and our host. So today we'll be talking about Switzerland and Germany.
Switzerland, I guess. And Germany.
But before I do so, I have to introduce my guests. So back by popular demand to my left or to my right. I never get this
By
right.
my own demand. Hello, I'm Gerd and I'm from Italy.
And from Italy, we catch an EasyJet flight to London.
Hello, I'm Sophie. I've been here a couple of times before, but yeah, I'm coming to you live from just outside of London.
Yes, flying the ESCBubble flag for us today, flying it solo. And from London, we catch a plane to Akureyri. Then we catch a bus or a train to Husavik.
No trains in Iceland, so you have to take the EasyJet flight from London or Manchester to Akureyri, then a bus or rent a car and drive here to Husavik, Iceland, of course. EPIXEUROVISION guy here from Estonia, but in Iceland. Hello once again.
Fantastic. Well, you guys know the drill by now. These live streams are fun. These live streams are where we get to talk about Eurovision so nicely, so freely, and so uncensored. So pull up your drink. This is not water. Pull up your drink and let's have a good time.
This is water.
I don't know what this is. I think it's something.
Come on. That's a drink?
No, it's not a drink.
Well, get yourself a
What
drink.
are those
Right?
tennis balls or what the hell is that?
Like a little, those little thingies that you put in, like that you play with. Like badminton. Yeah.
Badminton,
but it looks like a drink. Come on.
Pull up a drink.
Oh, no drink, Jojo.
I know.
Yeah. Get yourself a drink or get out.
No drink, no party.
Come on. I don't see any drinks here.
Guys, for all of you that are watching, come and subscribe to my channel. Yes, this is the last live stream for now, but during Eurovision week, we are going to be spoiling you with content. We are going to be spoiling you. I'm going to be in Basel, and we will have these conversations, and we will be able to predict. We'll be able to react to results. I mean, Eurovision week is where we're going to be spoiled for choice. So come and subscribe because you don't want to miss any of these chats. And if you're watching this on the repeat and you just want to skip to the country that you want to hear us talk about, you can find those timestamps in the description box. Okay, we have some people watching tonight. The SHAUUNZERS show again. I think I might adopt this name. I've seen it here once.
I like it.
Yeah, it's very American though, but I might adopt it. Happy Valborg to you guys and to you too, Mr., Mrs., or Miss, I guess. Happy Valborg to all the Swedes and to the Finns and to the Nordics that are watching. So tonight we're going to be talking about the Big Five, and we have some time today, so I'm just going to catch a quick reaction about these songs from you guys. Do you think this is our strongest Big Five bunch in a while? I'm going to start with you, Sophie.
Yeah, I do. I think 3 out of the songs we're about to talk about are in my top 10, so it's pretty good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't, and none of them here I actually dislike. Some I feel more positively about than others, and we'll get into that. But yeah, I think overall it's quite a strong bunch this year for sure.
Wow. Okay, Giorgio, what do you think?
I'm not a fan of any of the big five songs. Ooh, there's a dog. We will talk about
He must be a fan.
later. Of the dog,
He's
yeah.
disagreeing.
He argues like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, right. I think that I think he likes Italy because they speak Italian here. Anyway, I really like Switzerland, but we'll talk about it later. I think that the last strong big five was 2021. No, I'm kidding. 2022. 21 had far too many zeros.
Mhm.
Well,
Let's ask
the
Eston.
top two in 2021 were big five, so I guess
Just the top two.
there was some polarization there.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it's not a bad big five. Definitely among the better ones. Is it the best? I'm not too sure because I don't have any of them too high in my rankings this year. Maybe some in the lower top 10, but others are between like 10th or 20th mostly. So in the top half, but not in the very top. So that's why I'm a little bit reserved. But overall, the quality for the big five and the host country is really good this year.
Well, I'm gonna be the Debbie Downer over here. I think this is our weakest big five in a very long time. I think my highest big five song is at number 15 or 16. But I
This is
won't spoil it.
craziness.
I'm not gonna spoil it yet. I'm not gonna tell you which one it is. So let's get our show on the road, and we're gonna start with our host country. We have Switzerland as an automatic finalist this year because, of course, they are hosting, and we haven't had your thoughts in a long time, Georgia. So I'm gonna let you kick this one off.
Oh, well, this is my second place for this year. I adore this song. And it's actually the first time that I've enjoyed a Swiss song in I think 6 years. So since She Got Me, but that's just my personal taste. I'm very grateful that it's directly in the final. I don't think it will struggle to qualify because it's a really nice song, really good atmosphere. I think Zoe makes a great job performing it from what I've seen so far. At the same time, I think it's a jury song, so I don't expect to do extremely well in the final, especially with the public, but it will surely win some hearts and hopefully as many votes as it can get. So, my opinion on this is very, very positive.
Okay, Sophie.
Yeah, I agree pretty much. My kind of top five this year is very close, and normally I have one song which is like it's my number one favorite, and I'm really rooting for it. But this year I kind of have like three or four that I'm loving equally. But I don't feel like this is a spoiler alert. But go and watch ESCBubble's final once that's come out. But this is what I gave my 12 points to. I think this is absolutely excellent. Watching it for the first time, the music video was instantly giving me like Sanremo vibes, and that level of quality for a ballad like this, it builds and it has that dramatic moment in the bridge, and it's just so beautiful. Her vocals have that kind of Victoria-like quality. That's instantly what I thought of when I listened to it for the first time. And the melody is instant. I just think it's really layered and really interesting. And the entire vibe about it, I just absolutely love. And yeah, I mean, I don't know, we haven't got that many ballads really this year, so it could stand out in the final. I don't see it coming that high up, maybe like, I don't know, bottom end of the top 10 at most, but I'm
Oh
rooting
wow.
for it. I
I
really
mean,
love
that's
it.
high.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
say more
That's
like
I
high.
mean, that would
15.
be like the highest it would probably go.
Mhm.
But yeah, I find it hard to kind of put into words how I feel about this one. It's just like so kind of warm and lovely
It's
and
soothing.
touching. Yeah, soothing. Yeah. And it's just like kind of like the I think we have quite a few songs like this year actually, but one of those kind of go-to ones that I'm like, I stick it on and it like calms me down, puts me in a good mood. And yeah, I just think it's absolutely lovely. So yeah, love it.
But I feel like it kind of contrasts with the lyrics because if you guys speak,
Mm,
the lyrics are more about like being brokenhearted or being
mm-hmm.
disappointed by someone and still giving them another chance, which I think is very sweet. But at the same time, you need to like see each situation. It could be toxic. It could be the good
I don't know
decision.
about the lyrics. I didn't actually read them myself, to be honest. But
So he's
I'm
basically
I
saying,
I like what you said, Sophie, about the Victoria comparison. This when I
Mm,
heard the song for the first time, this immediately reminded me of Tears Getting Sober
mm-hmm.
more than Growing Up is Getting Old.
mhm.
Yes.
And I like that song, and I of course I'm gonna like this one. I mean, I also really like the composure that Zoe May has, and even on the interviews, I feel like she's not playing to the cameras or playing to the
No,
media.
it's very
Like,
honest.
yeah, she's if she's not feeling it, she's not gonna be faking it, and I appreciate that in an artist. But I also feel like she wouldn't have been picked for Switzerland if they didn't want if they wanted to win.
You
I
know,
feel
she
like
was
this
in
is
the
a
general selection last year, right? Like the same song.
yeah, and she wasn't picked.
No, she came
So
second.
I
Mm,
mean, I'm glad she's in, but I feel like this is a safe pick for Switzerland when they say, this year we just want to
yeah.
showcase one of our artists that we wouldn't usually showcase if we're a bit more competitive. And I'm glad we have this song in the final. I don't think it's gonna do very well. I think it might get au jardined.
No, no
I
last
don't think it's
place.
gonna come last
Mm,
though, but I
It
think
has a
it will
better
get au
running
jardined.
order, 19.
yeah.
It does have a better running order, but
And it sounds
now
unique
with the
for
now
the
with the
final.
old televote, like with the televote being open since the beginning of the show, I think the running order doesn't matter so much as it used to,
Hmm.
certainly in the televote. So yeah, I don't want it to finish so low, but if it does, it wouldn't surprise me. Eston, what do you think?
Oh, I absolutely love it.
Yay.
We are all in agreement here. It is. I don't cry to songs really, but this one almost every time brings
Yeah.
tears to my
Right,
eyes.
right.
I
That
don't know
final
why,
third.
but like you just listen to it and you go through this emotional roller coaster and you're just like exhausted by the end, but in a good way. Like you just let loose and kind of live through the song and the story that she's telling. So it is so unique, and I'm so happy that this is in the contest because it will really stand out, and that might actually bring it some televotes as well. And I would say this is probably among my favorite ballads, if not the favorite ballad this year.
Hmm.
And I actually have to correct myself. I have three of the big five countries in my top 10 this year. So at least at this
Wow.
moment. And
Hmm.
Switzerland is at the moment the second highest among the big five, but they are very close. And it's hard to rank this song because it is so different. And I don't really look for the song to listen to it because generally, I just want something happier or relaxing. This is too sad to just listen on a good sunny day. But when I do hear it and when I see her music video and her performances in pre-parties, it's that emotional roller coaster once again. And I think a lot of people could and should be able to connect with this. So I think a top 10 result with a good jury score is very, I don't want to say likely, but very possible.
Hmm. I mean, it's never sunny here, so depression all the way for me. Just matching
Well,
the weather to my mood.
from one ballad to another, we're now taking it to Italy, and it's only fair that I start this conversation with the only Italian in the house. Giorgio, what are you thinking about Lucio Corsi?
Well, um, I think that first of all, he is not in my personal taste, but at the same time, I'm proud that he's representing us. because he is a showcase of a traditional Italian singer-songwriter, as we haven't had in a while at Eurovision. Actually, our last time we did was 2018, but that's the main genre at Sanremo. No matter how much they try to push those rappers, those trappers, and stuff like that. The singer-songwriters are always the most respected and prevalent Sanremo artists for the audience, especially. And I do think that the jury might give him a very high score. I'm not saying he's going to get Rafael Bolazzi's, but at the same time, I think that he'll finish very high in the jury and it will get the typical Italian televote score of around 100. I think that people, especially middle-aged women who are his biggest fan base here, are going to adore his artiness. And yeah, I think that he will be respected and seen as a great representation of Italy. So while he is not very high in my top, I think he is like 20 something. I am very happy that he is representing us, and I'm very happy that he's doing so instead of who won Sanremo. In my opinion, that guy should not be singing. Like, he has a voice for sign language and nothing else.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Sophie, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm really glad you said that because I totally agree. I think the Sanremo is such a high quality mix of songs. And you know how, I mean, you went there, Giorgio, like a few weeks ago, and we were talking about Austria. And our biggest gripe with it is that it felt manufactured, and it felt like it was a song, and it is a song that was written in a Eurovision songwriting camp and then given to an artist. This is like on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, because it's coming from an artist who has a perspective, and has individuality and a unique story to tell. And for that reason, this song really resonates, and I feel like it's such a unique offering in this lineup for that reason. It just feels so honest and so kind of pure and touching and lovely, especially when you watch that music video, which kind of tells the story in a different way as well. Yeah, I love listening to it. Again, it's a very different song to Switzerland, but it's kind of in that camp of songs this year for me, where it's one that I put on and I feel relaxed and I just feel happy, and it's uplifting, and it's kind of like, oh, I roll, like, be yourself, but but that kind of message is just, it never goes amiss. It's always nice to be reminded of, like, and to see artists like Lucio who are so like authentically themselves, and it really comes through in the song. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to see how they stage it. I think that's going to be very crucial in terms of what result this gets. But yeah, kind of judging by the reaction after Ollie decided not to go to Eurovision, and I mean, the fan base is such a small amount of people, so it's hard to kind of scale it up and imagine what the general reaction is going to be. I don't see this doing as well as Italy typically do. I think because it is so unique and so kind of individual to Lucio as an artist, it might kind of fail to resonate in the way that kind of maybe in the past 4 or 5 years Italy songs have done. But I'm really glad it's here. I love it. I think, yeah, I think it's in maybe like 6th or 7th place for me currently.
Oh
But
wow.
yeah, I'm happy
And
it's
it's
here.
and it's I mean, spoiler alert, but it's not even in your top 3 in this today's lineup.
No.
Wow.
So I
You
think I
really
lied
like the
actually in the
Bonfire.
beginning. I think 4 of the songs we're talking about today are in my top 10. So I'm
Wow.
like the biggest fan of all these songs. Yeah,
Wow.
love it.
Okay, Eston, what do you think about Vivere la vita?
La vita. I love it. It's Italy, so
Yeah,
naturally I love it. Come on, like, I'm
of
Estonian.
course.
I love everything Italian. That's like,
Mi amore.
look at what we're sending to Eurovision. We love Italy, so naturally I like this, and I think Estonians in general will love it as well. But I generally don't see it getting a huge televote. On the other hand, the jury could really go for it. I could see a scenario where it does actually come like maybe even top 5 with the jury and get a great result for Italy. But I mean, then again, we had Marco Mengoni in 2023, basically got about the same amount from the public and the televote. And this is something that, I mean, Sean will probably bring this up. This is what people expect from Italy. And
Girl.
so you don't have anything to say later. So
I'm gonna throw away my piece of paper.
I know already. So looking at it that way, I think with the authenticity and with the honesty and just pure musicality, plus the expectancy, why not top 10? Why not even top 5? I can see this happen, and I think the Eurofans for some reason really marked it down and didn't show it any love. I much preferred this overall, and I think people are sleeping on it. It's hard to predict this big 5 plus the host this year. It's near impossible. I don't know where any of them are gonna come. I think all of them have a potential to finish very high, but also all of them have kind of a possibility to completely flop. So it's very difficult to say about predictions. But personally, I listen to it all the time. It's probably one of my most played songs this year. And I wish Lucia all the best.
I have to touch up a little bit on Sanremo because I really can't believe how far the Eurovision fans were standing. Vivere, piangere, fa. Ollie, really? Of all the songs that, I mean, this was not the strongest Sanremo, let's face it. But I was really surprised that if there was a song that the fans picked up on, it was the actual Sanremo winner, which doesn't really happen. So, and I'm glad we're not getting that at Eurovision. I have to admit, Lucia Corsi was like my number 25th or 26th in Sanremo. I didn't see it coming so high in that bunch. But the thing about Sanremo and Eurovision being such different measures of quality pushes the song higher in my Eurovision ranking. And I appreciate that we have a song like this, which has the best lyrics in the competition, and in my opinion, by far. It has a story that actually needs to be told and needs to be heard. And I'm really, really glad that we get to hear Lucio's story being narrated on the Eurovision stage. I do think this is going to come top 10, and I agree with Giorgio that this song will probably get maybe not 100, but I do think it's gonna get a shockingly high televote. And when I say shockingly, it won't be shocking for us, maybe, but where this is coming in fan polls and the Eurovision scoreboard app, it's going to exceed expectations, I think. And yeah, this is, like Eston said, this is what people expect from Italy, maybe even more than La Noia, which came 7th. So in a stronger year. So this, I think this has the potential to come lower end of the top 10. I think this is actually my safest pick in the in the big 5 for the top 10.
I just need to say something. I know that it's not always the case, but if juries are there to reward artistic quality in an objective sense, then I don't see this song coming out of the top 10 purely based on jury vote. Of course, juries almost never vote based on this criteria, but if they do vote based on what they're supposed to vote on, then this should come comfortably in the top 10. And by that, I mean like 200 and pass from the jury, which would be enough to come top 10 altogether, even without televote. So I'm pretty confident about its placement.
I mean, Marco finished what, like 5th or 6th or 4th or
4th.
4th. I don't think this is massively different. I think this is. I even prefer this song to Marco's song. It's more.
I think this is a bit less immediate,
personal
though.
and
Marco was more polished. I think he was more televote friendly. He was more of what was expected from Italy, while this one is more artistic. And when I'm telling you that middle-aged women are the number one fans of Lucio Corsi, I'm not lying. And no, Euro fans are not usually middle-aged women, so that's why his salary was
Hmm.
so surprised. I'm not saying
Yeah.
3 digits, but near 100 could be possible based on this.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think Italy's expectancy score will be there will be some expectancy bias for Italy on
Mm.
this one.
I think this is the
Um,
thing as well. Like we're saying it's maybe gonna, well, I said maybe it would do kind of worse than Italy have done recently, but that's because they consistently come like, I mean, what's their
Hmm.
worst result in the last 10 years? Like, I think it is Angelina
16th.
Mango, isn't it?
no,
Like,
it's
Oh,
Francesca
oh,
No.
Michelin.
yes,
yeah,
yes.
16th though. But I
But
feel
in
like
like the
many
past 5 years.
countries, many people just vote for Italy no matter what. Like it's kind of like the Japan of Europe. It's a country everybody likes and
Yes.
thinks is fascinating. And talking about one last time, Vivere Tiangere and stuff like that, like Ollie, I feel like he wouldn't have done that well because he can't sing live without autotune.
Mm.
And his song, like the lyrics, for those who don't speak Italian, of course, they mean nothing. But for those who do, those are the typical lyrics that 15-year-old girls put on their Instagram stories. They're completely meaningless. They're full of cliches.
Ouch.
He won
Well,
because he has a great label behind him, great promotion. That's what does well at Sanremo
Mm.
nowadays. And everybody was shocked that Lucio did so well because
Mm.
until a few months ago, he was an independent artist. He only had one song on the radio. And now he's blown up. He has sold out concerts everywhere.
well, Italy will be represented by Lucio Corsi, and I'm very glad about that.
We all are.
Moving
Yay.
on to Italy's Mediterranean neighbor, which actually doesn't even share a border with Italy. Spain is coming to Eurovision with Essa Diva. And I'm going to kick this off with Sophie. What do you think
And
about
I
Melody?
and I know why you put me first because everybody else is going to slate this revamp, but I'm here to speak my truth. I
I
think
like to
this is a
start with
really
positivity.
it's nice. It's nice. I'm gonna get it in before you guys all like, say your bit. I love this revamp. I was a little bit late to listening to it because I don't know, life was happening. But I saw the reactions ahead of time, so I had it spoiled that it was like a generally negative reaction, and everyone was like, "What the heck have they done to this song? It's like the worst revamp in the world." I don't think so. I think the revamp made it better. I will say it. I will stick by that opinion.
You will die
Um,
on that hill, girl.
I will die on that hill. But this was my favorite song in Benidorm Fest anyway. So I was really glad watching the live shows, and I wasn't aware of Melody before. I obviously know now that she's quite a big name in Spain, but her performance is just like ridiculous. Like I think at London Eurovision Party that was like my top, my top pick because I think I was just stood there like mouth like wide open, like she's just amazing, like ridiculously good to watch, like Chanel levels, just impressive, so impressive. The choreography, the vocals, everything is on point. But not only that, the song itself is just an absolute banger. I mean, there's something to be said about the original version. It did have like a maybe mid 2000s Eurovision feel. It felt maybe a little bit dated, which is why I think this revamp worked so well because it pulled it back into like the Eurovision of the 2020s, gave it more like of a modern kind of polish. It's just an absolute banger. I don't know what else to say. It doesn't touch me emotionally. There's nothing like of depth, of substance. It's
I don't
just,
think it's supposed to.
but yeah, it's not supposed to. And there's always,
Yeah.
always going to be a place for songs like these at Eurovision. This is what people, this is what people expect, especially from Spain. So yeah, I love it. And Melody, God, the icon, the legend, the moment. I'm absolutely obsessed with her. So yeah, love it.
It's really interesting that you mentioned that this is what people expect from Spain because I'm quite torn about like Spain is one of the biggest countries at Eurovision that I think
Hmm.
really either benefits from the expectancy that they have or is really harmed by it.
Mm.
And we've seen it in two of the most recent examples. Blanca Paloma really was harmed from it, and Chanel really benefited from it. So in this year, I don't know if I don't know where I stand on that. I will say I agree that this was the best song in Benidorm Fest, heads and shoulders above everyone else, in my opinion. And this was the weakest Benidorm Fest in its history, in my opinion. but this was the only choice in my opinion,
Mhm.
especially after seeing the live performances.
Oh God.
And yeah, I mean, I don't like the revamp, to be honest. I had this song in my top 10 before the revamp. I feel like it had I liked it for its throwback
Mhm.
quality. I feel like it had a shameless production, and I still, to be honest, I still listen to the previous version and not the new
Mhm.
one. And I don't know, there was just that Swedish production that I constantly criticize, but I liked it. I just liked it. It reminded me
Mhm.
a lot of, I don't know if you guys remember that song in MESC in 2022 called Into the Fire. It came third.
Yes.
It
Yes,
came
Banger.
third.
that was
Absolute
my
banger.
favorite that year.
What a
Yeah.
tune. Yeah.
And it was written by Peter Bostrom as well,
Mhm.
who co-wrote Essa Diva. And I don't know, I liked it. I have to admit, the revamp when I heard it, it was a Besa Kokedima style destruction for me.
That's offensive.
But now it's growing on me a little bit. I still think the song went backwards, but it's growing on me a little bit. I do think we overreacted. I do.
Yes.
Well, I
I think
overreacted.
it
I
was
do
like a
think.
shock reaction because it's so different. People were just like,
Yeah,
"Oh, I don't like it," you know.
yeah. And
Didn't really
actually,
give
the
it a
people who
chance.
overreacted were people who liked it, whereas
Mm.
people who didn't like it were like, or either it's where it was before, or I actually prefer it.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's growing on me. Ultimately, the biggest selling point for me is melody.
Yeah. Oh
Sean,
no, we've lost him.
who kidnapped Sean?
Melody's ops.
Melody has taken me to town. I do feel that she's almost overselling this product because she knows that she is the the product's best point. But I'm gonna close with this. I don't think this is coming bottom six.
No.
I don't think
If
this is
there's
gonna
any
come bottom six.
justice in
Eston.
this world.
I feel like it's getting boring now. I mean, Erwin is not here, so I'm not disagreeing with anyone. So I
There's
You
still
actually
haven't been
time.
love it
disagreeing with
once
Irvin
again.
that much.
Not this year has been weird, but we'll
Yeah.
probably get back on track next year. No, I love it, and actually, I'm gonna say the same that Sean just did. Like, absolutely hated the revamp at first because I loved the first original version so much. But now listening to it more and more, it's like, okay, it's not that horrible. Which one I
It's still Essa
preferred?
Diva.
Probably still the first one.
Same.
But of course, in Eurovision, people will just hear it for the first time. They have no idea some other version exists. Very audibly, very clearly Spanish. And what makes me a little bit concerned is looking at how Thorra did last year. A lot poorer than a lot of people expected. And
Not
I
me.
kind of,
No.
yeah,
Laugh, but
well,
yeah.
so this is kind of in the same vague area of retro and throwback and this diva on stage. So I don't think it's too far-fetched to compare those two, and seeing how Thora did makes me a little bit concerned. But I think a lot of casuals will really like it. Girl Bob's not too many this year, so definitely will benefit from that as well. So I'm rooting for her, and she is the strongest point of this package. But I love the song, of course, as well. She sells it well. She sings well. She dances. The choreography, if they do it well, she's not going to get a Chanel type result, but I also hope she's going to get a better result than the Nebulos. Yeah, and Sora did last year. So rooting for it, but a little bit concerned.
Okay. Giorgio, any final thoughts on Spain?
Yeah. Well, I agree with you guys that the original version was better than the revamp because the original version had a bigger punch. I feel like the song is dated either way, so there was no need to try to remove the datedness from the new version. I don't think that the revamp accomplished its purpose.
They
But
westernized it.
They
unnecessarily.
westernized it. There was no
It
need. Like,
already was though, because it was written by Swedish
yeah, but it
writers.
was very
So
2000s, and I feel like people won't care if a song like that it sounds like it's from the 2000s because
mm,
I feel like the
It's a bit
very
like
concept of a
Alcazar. You can never
diva,
call them dated, can you?
yeah, like the very concept of a
mm,
Or you
diva
can
is
always
very
call them
2000s.
dated.
Like divas don't exist anymore. Let's face it. We're not in the era of Celine Dion and Britney Spears anymore. It's just a bunch of celebrities that last a year if they're lucky. So it felt very appropriate that it sounded like it was from the 2000s.
mm.
And about like people having expectation from Spain, I feel like this is much more fitting of that description than Blanca Paloma because even though that's real flamenco, most people don't know about real flamenco. Most people associate Spain with reggaeton, which is from Latin America. Like most people don't know there are different things. So if Spain were to send like a Ricky Martin wannabe or a Bad Bunny wannabe, they would win. If they send real flamenco, they're coming last in the televote. Like that's how it is. And Esa Diva fits the expectations from Spain description more than anything else from recent years that wasn't Chanel. So that's why I expect um, Melody to do
I
better
actually, I
than the
actually
others.
really like that the song is called Esa Diva, the cringiest, most cheesy Eurovision song title ever. But the lyrics are actually pretty good.
They are
I think that's something
Poderosa.
that yeah, I think the lyrics are actually pretty good. And talking about Italy and Spain back to back, actually, I think these are two of the strongest lyrically advanced songs that we have this year.
And
But
And I
she
mean,
is also
touching upon
strong.
what Giorgio mentioned, like there are no divas anymore. What she's singing is like everyone's a diva.
Right.
So
Hmm.
So there's no divas in the showbiz, but there's divas within all of us, I guess.
I don't think Spain will come top five, right?
no,
No,
no.
no,
Not
no.
this year. Not
I feel
this.
like
I would love, but no.
I feel like between like 13 and 17 maybe,
Yeah,
which is
like middle of
amazing
the
for Spain
scoreboard if it
standards.
does well. Yeah.
But I do
I,
hope
I
that like that would be better than anyone is expecting from Spain. So
I
Mm.
think if they come 20, they can celebrate.
right,
I preferred Cabello. I did not. I
no, no,
was
no, no.
Mm.
I was elated that that song didn't win. I
That
was
was a no.
really really scared it might have win. I'm really really happy that that terrible vocal performance and no, absolutely not.
At some point, though, Spain are going to do it. They're going to pick the hot guy that like comes second or third normally. It's going to happen. I see it in the
I mean,
Hopefully
future.
he'll be able to sing. I would have been
Yeah.
fine with
I'm saying it.
Jorge Gonzalez,
If they sent
but
Yeah.
Caliente
Jota.
or Flamenco from 2 years ago, they would have been top 10. Like that's what
Ooh,
people
Mm.
want
Flamenco
from
was a
Spain.
good song. Flamenco was a
That's what
good song,
people
but
want from Spain.
performance,
They want nothing
that
else. I
performance
mean,
had no business being on the Eurovision stage with that vocal.
Mm.
but I mean, can you
No
remember
business.
Greece coming top 10 for like a whole decade by sending the same song every year? That's because people only want one thing from Greece,
Expectancy.
right?
Expectancy.
There are countries that are too iconic. Like people expect something precise from them because they're familiar with their culture. And I think Spain should just give up and give people what they want. And this year they're in the right
Expectancy
direction.
it is. Well, one country that's definitely dipping into their expectancy bias this year is France. And I'm gonna kick this off with Eston because I haven't given him a running order opening this live stream yet. So dude, go ahead.
Okay, I'm finally gonna take out the flag as well.
Yay!
Ah, it
And
only took us three songs.
in honor of the Swiss as well, I forgot that first. So let me wave those two for a few moments. So France. Um, I can't connect with the song. For some reason, it just doesn't work. Um, I don't know what it is exactly, but maybe I'm tired of the French, the same song every year, basically. It's the melody. Maybe it was how they performed it at the rugby match that didn't connect. I mean, last year as well, Slimans, Mon Amour, I basically only liked it when it was Eurovision time. Before it was like, no, this is not voila level. I don't like it that much. Eurovision comes along, they stage it really well, and I really like it. Maybe that's the case this year as well. And I do, of course, understand it's a personal story. It's a very touching story, but somehow just doesn't work with me. And I think it will do well. I think the juries will really appreciate it. Top 5, very possible. Top 10, I would say probably locked for France. But I just have to wait for Eurovision to come along to see the staging, how it's performed and sold there. Maybe it will work. But at the moment, something just doesn't click. And it's not
Can I
saying I
say
don't like
something
it, it just doesn't work.
very quickly? Because we've been hearing a lot of comments this year that it's a personal story here, it's a personal story there. If I went to Eurovision and I sang a song about me getting up in the morning, having a shower, going to work, having a break at 1 o'clock, hating my job, and going home at 4, it will be a personal story, but I'll be talking about nothing. Anything could be a personal story. Sophie, what do you think about this personal story?
The disagreements begin. Out of the kind of
Yes,
top,
finally.
woohoo, the top like 5 songs in the odds, this is the only one that I think deserves to win. And I want it to win, probably.
Girl wants to
Yeah,
go
so
to Paris.
well, it's just, a short trip on the Eurostar, so convenient. I would love to go. I've never actually been to Paris, and I studied French, so it's,
Me neither.
But anyway, the song. Obviously we had a lot of build up to the release of this song. Expectations were really high. I think some people were disappointed. I wasn't. I thought this hit the mark completely. The melody is instant. I could kind of hum and sing along after only one listen. And this is what happens when you pick. It's the same thing I was saying about Lucio. This is what happens when you pick an artist who has a story to tell, who has a perspective. And everybody has a mum. whether some people might like it or not, we all have a mum, and everybody has a story attached to that. So this is a universal kind of thing, and I think it's going to touch a lot of people. It touches me. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And up there with Switzerland, it's one of the only songs this year that I'd get a little tear in my eye listening to. Especially, I think she's just recently released the music video, which I'm using that to imagine how it's going to be staged. I think that's going to be so crucial in terms of how well this does. The staging needs to resonate. It needs to be spot on. And I know what France are like. I'm concerned about that deeply. But yeah, I think this is it. This is a classic Eurovision ballad, and it's so resonant, and it's so honest and touching and powerful, especially in that last chorus. And some people were saying it's a cliche, but like having her daughter sing the word maman at the end is so simple but so effective. People who don't even speak a lick of French are going to instantly get what the song is about. I love it. I can't say anything, negative about it. There's nothing that I don't like. And yeah, I really, really want this to do well. And out of the top few in the odds, this is the winner. This is what I'm saying. So yeah.
Oh wow, girl made some predictions. Um,
This is what I'm
I
telling
thought,
everyone. Like all of my colleagues at work, they're like, "Who's gonna win?" I'm saying France.
I mean, it's
I
possible.
mean,
It's possible.
yes, I agree with you, Sophie, on the hype argument. I really, really think France and Cyprus are shaking hands every year and just making bets on who's going to overhype their song the most, because the hype levels of this was just beyond expectation. I mean, the press releases that we were getting and the media narrative, and even waiting to release the song up until the final hours of the deadline, having it in Le Stade, and then opening with 100 drum. It was just all
It was a lot.
building up to a it was all building up to a moment where the French are their own enemies, because you can never live up to that amount of expectation, even if you have a song that is written by Celine Dion, which you don't. I agree with Eston. I don't connect to this. I'm really sorry. I don't connect to this at all. Um, I I have liked Barbara Pravi and Slimane. Slimane less than Barbara Pravi, and I will say that Slimane for me peaked live. So I will give this the benefit of the doubt that it could surprise me live like Slimane and just have a really really nice and simple
Mm.
and polished performance. But sonically, I think it's just meh. It's just a meh product, nothing special. And this is lower than I put Slim on when I compare my tops from last year. And last year was a much stronger year. So I'm really, really thinking that this actually could get a result similar to Amanda Tenfjord and Die Together, where she was really, really high with the juries, 6 sets of 12 points. And Greece from the public you get 57 points. I could see it happening.
I
I
don't
could
think
see
Can
it's
I
it
going
just
that
say,
happening.
low. No.
I have never understood the hype about Voila. I'm just
Really?
putting that out there. I think this is
What?
better than Voila. And I think Slimane was also better than Voila.
Oh,
I just, it
Girl just
never,
hates Voila.
it,
What did
it
Barbara
never,
do to you?
look, Barbara Pravi, an amazing performer, but the song just never clicked for me. So
okay. Georgia,
everybody making that comparison, I'm like, I don't get it. I'm sorry.
finish us
Well,
Yeah,
off,
just putting
I
that
Sam.
out
don't
there.
get it either because Voila is so much better.
Yeah,
well,
I'm on Team Eston.
first of all, I
Isaac,
would
back
like
me
to
up in the chat,
applaud.
please.
Yeah, first of all, I would
Erwin, come
like
to
to
the chat and
applaud
back me up.
the French for reading the room because voila, voila, mon amour, maman. Like they've been using cliche French words that are universal, as Sophie said, and that will reach a public as big as possible. But I feel like the Netherlands outdid them in their own game this year. C'est la 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 vie. I think
That is true.
that's the most annoying
Mm,
tune of the year to me, but at the same time, it's very very effective. It's going to do amazingly, and if people are going to vote for something French, that's gonna be it. I agree with the other two boys. This song is hard to connect with, not because of the mom argument, of course. I mean, that's universal, as Sophie said, but because I feel like the songwriting, their delivery are a bit cold. The song doesn't really stick in your head. The emotions aren't conveyed very well, at least from the stadium performance that she gave. And if she didn't improve her skills for the big show, then I don't think that so many people will actually connect with it. So I don't see a televote score as low as Sean said, but at the same time, I don't see anything anywhere close to 200. And I don't know, I feel like the juries this year are not going to have a runaway winner. I feel like they will actually prefer the Netherlands
mm.
to this one.
Please.
So
The
I don't
juries.
I don't think this one is winning. I mean,
Refuse bribes.
yeah, I feel like France this year really wanted to win, but this is objectively the inferior version of Mon Amour. It has less feelings, it has a less capable performer. It will probably have a less effective performance because last year Mon Amour was, I think, a flawless performance.
It was.
Mm,
So
Yeah.
it was.
yeah, I don't
And I have to
I don't
say,
think that it
I have to
deserves to
say,
come anywhere higher.
a beautiful guy who got a lot of votes for being beautiful.
I mean,
Let's.
Luan is also beautiful.
But I think people vote more for beautiful men than they do beautiful women.
Yeah,
This is
probably.
true.
Whether that's right or wrong, I
Or
think a
middle-aged
good-looking
women.
guy has more.
But I mean,
Mm,
we have basically said the same thing, Sean, with you for the past 2 years, like with Mon Amour, with Le Mans as well. No, it's not as good as Barbara Pravi, and we can't connect to it, and we don't see it doing that well. Look at what happened with the live
AK4.
performance. So
yeah.
yeah, and I really
We should
like
have
Nobody
it.
thought
known
That's
better.
anything of
brilliant.
Mon Amour when it came out.
No,
Nobody,
no.
nobody thought anything, and that live performance was just like, whoa. I can
We
see
should
that
have known
happening with
better.
this as well, and people
I
You know
mean,
being
what it
surprised.
is?
Slim is one of the best in France. Like he always fills arenas. When her career took a nosedive recently, her album didn't do very well. So this is kind of an attempt to revive it. But you can see that the French people are not really supporting their song. It's languishing in the top 200 of their official charts. Like there's no support as there was with Slimane last year, whose song quickly went diamond. So
I have to say as well, I think last year Slimane had actually no hype. If I remember well, it was a cold
That was the first one
November
to be released as
Wednesday.
well.
I think it was
It was a
globally
cold
out. Yeah,
November Wednesday when we got a release at 8 o'clock in the morning that Slimane will be representing
Yeah.
France, and the song will be
Hmm.
dropped at 8 o'clock in the evening, and bam, that's
right.
our first song.
But he
Yeah.
grew in the charts like organically. You could see him going up, like starting in January, February. He kept going up, and he picked the number two after
Yeah.
Eurovision. But
And
still,
I think that was a recipe that France could have replicated, not necessarily releasing the song in November, but
hmm
I don't understand why this
Mm.
year that they put themselves on this hype machine, because ultimately,
Yeah.
whenever I think we've seen this every year since Mons Zermelov won, to be honest. Every year we see the country that's trying to win Eurovision the most. Case in point, Bulgaria 2018. That song didn't even make the top 10. That
right?
was evidently the
That
song that
was
I think was the
embarrassing.
most try hard winner ever. And I'm not
VNC
saying this
went
song is gonna
bankrupt
come.
because of it.
I'm not sure this is gonna come 14th. I do think this will still come in the top 10, but I don't think that it's going to win as much as the French delegation
It's
wants
not
it to.
winning. It's not winning.
Adam says this is the third time France is trying to recreate Barbara Pravi. The staging will probably be as intimate as Barbara's and Slimon's. Yeah,
Maybe. Are
yeah,
they gonna be a one-trick pony though?
yeah, yeah. I
Well,
think it's
if it
gonna be
ain't broke,
intimate.
don't fix it. You
Sure.
know?
Let it be intimate. Let it be intimate. Um, but yeah, those are our thoughts on France. And now I'm really, really excited for the moment I've been waiting for in a long time, which is going to which is going to be the pinnacle of my friendship with Sophie Lake. We are going to discuss
Ah,
the song from the United Kingdom. Sophie,
it's been a
there's
long time
no
coming.
better opener than you. The stage is yours.
Ah, guys, I have so much to say. This could be a long one, but we're talking about less songs today, so I'm gonna let the rant escape. Right. So let's start with the positives. Remember Monday, the vocals absolutely spot on. At London Eurovision Party, they were flawless, and it's very impressive to see it live. The harmonies, that you cannot fault it at all. They are amazing live. They are amazing performers. And another thing is that they've been, really positive ambassadors for Eurovision in the UK. I mean, we could talk for hours about the reputation that Eurovision has here. It's not good. The general public are not fans. And even though we've hosted and, Eurovision fever and, your mum's neighbour was trying to get a ticket for Liverpool, everybody is still really skeptical about Eurovision in the UK. So when someone's picked and for them to, come into press interviews with a positive attitude and be really excited about it and get involved and, fly to Iceland and come to the Eurovision Museum and sing Husavik, it's really
Get
great
interviewed
stuff,
by Epic's Eurovision guy.
of course, the peak of their careers.
Of
Um,
course.
that and
It's
that
all,
wasn't that
all
wasn't
going
shade.
downhill now.
But here's the
They
thing.
have to go back to William Lee Adams now.
Oh dear.
And Graham Norton was after me, so just down. Yeah.
But the problem is, all of that to one side, we're still left with a song, with a product that is not great. It's disappointing. And again, we've got a situation where the artist was chosen and then they've just found a song, they've got someone to write a song and they've just gone, yep, there you go, off to Eurovision. And it lacks, we've been saying it about most of the artists we've just been speaking about, that connection between the artist and the song, having a story. What story is this song telling that's not like you can't get by listening to Katy Perry's Last Friday Night, which is, debatably one of the best pop songs of the 2010s, but that's a different conversation. Um, there's just kind of nothing for me to grab onto, and the song itself is messy. It's like a mishmash of genres, and I understand what they were trying to do, and I appreciate that they've done what they perceive to be something different, and by they I mean the BBC, the UK delegation, they think this is really out there and unique at Eurovision. But look at the lineup that we have. Look at the mix of genres and personalities, and standout staging ideas. All of the creativity we have here, all of the effort that they seem to think that they've put into this song. It's just meh. All of these like ingredients that
When
they're
you
trying to put
compare it to
together,
everyone else, yeah.
it's forgettable still, even though this is maybe the most effort that they've put into a UK act since Sam Ryder. There's nothing that's making it stand out. That they've got fantastic vocals, but being able to sing live does not make the song better. We've had entries
Yeah.
like Lucy Jones, for example, absolutely fabulous. I've seen her in the West End, and these girls have been on the West End too, so they've got the musical chops to perform this live and to sell it. But you can only do so much with a song that at the end of the day is just like so mediocre. And this is something else that really bothers me as well. Like OGAE UK, a very lovely group of people. I'm friends with lots of them, and I see them at all the events, and it's a great time. But there's such a culture of like toxic positivity, of like, we have to get behind the UK act, like, because we're from the, like, they put so much effort in, and we have to love it. And I'm like, guys, but I don't love it. I'm sorry. I will support the girls because I think that they're fantastic, but this song just does not do them justice at all. And I can see the messiness of the song. We know how the BBC stage. We've seen giant trumpets. We've seen all sorts. Like, it's not, whatever they do, it's not gonna mesh. It's not gonna resonate.
We've
They
seen
might pick up.
live pornography.
I'll just don't even get me started on that. That's a separate video. I mean,
I mean,
honestly, Sean,
they
like,
put effort into that.
They've put the
did
effort.
they?
Yeah.
I feel like this is the thing though, when the UK, whenever the UK does, like, for every hour of effort that the BBC does on Eurovision, we're expected to go, oh, the UK are doing their effort, yay! Whereas other delegations are putting countless efforts with much smaller budgets. So
Right.
I
Where's
really
it going?
don't understand. I really don't understand that we have to clap our hands for every hour of work that the BBC puts into Eurovision. Because guess what? There are countries that are completely over exceeding what you're doing with much smaller budgets. So if I'm clapping my hands for someone, it's going to be for Czechia. It's going to be for San Marino. It's going to be for Moldova when they still did it. Because these countries have 50 cents. Portugal. These countries have got 50 cents and a marmalade sandwich, and they are making something out of nothing. And I
It
think the
seems
UK,
more than Estonia because they had 0 last year.
the list goes on.
One
I
of
mean,
the
Malta
best
had
selections, though. One of the best.
Malta had no budget last year, and look where we came last, but that performance was something we're proud of. I
Yeah.
actually met Sarah Bonici yesterday, and I filmed an interview and a video with her, and that's gonna come on my channel this weekend, hopefully, if I manage to edit it in time. So keep your eyes open for that. But I've had this conversation with her. I mean, some countries don't have budget, and I'm sick and tired of British fans telling me, "Oh, we've got to get behind these guys because they're great singers."
And I can be annoyed
Yeah.
about it as well because I pay a TV license fee, which goes directly to the BBC. So I can be annoyed that they're taking my taxpayer money and they're not picking something unique and interesting. Like, every other country at Eurovision picks a song and an artist or a genre of music that reflects the culture. We're such a diverse country. We've got essentially every nationality in the world. There's so much we could do at Eurovision, but yet again, we're sending a bog standard pop song that will get a little bit of radio play on Radio 1, and then everybody's just going to forget about it. Why are we doing this? I'm so frustrated, guys.
I'm not going to try to overshadow this fantastic commentary, and I'm just gonna say this.
It's for another video.
My take on the UK is this. I genuinely think this is the worst composition of 2025 by a mile. I think
Worse
that
than Poison
what keeps
Cake?
it, yes, what keeps this now, where is this and where is Poison Cake in my top? This is higher purely because I think the harmonies of Remember Monday are absolutely fantastic. And me, as someone who comes from a little bit of a music background and looking at the whole package, I do think that that is something to be, that comes into my scores, whether I'm judging this as 37th or 35th in my rank. Those bottom picks will have things like vocals, styling, and staging that will push them higher or lower than one another. And I do think that the vocals of the girls are absolutely fantastic. I heard them sing My
Mm.
Husavik. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Hmm.
But it's a pity they're not singing My Husavik on the Basel stage. They're going to
Yeah.
be singing,
Well, this is
they're going to
this is
be
the problem.
singing a terrible, terrible song. Who wrote this? Who wrote this song?
Isn't there a Danish writer on it? That
Yeah, a Danish
explains
guy.
a lot. Love to Denmark,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Love to Denmark. But BBC, why are you getting your songwriters from the country with the longest non-qualification streak to date? Like,
This is
I
the
don't. Do you just want to come last? Do you? Do
we
you?
have so
I
many
don't know.
big British artists and producers, and there's just so much we could do, and we're not doing it. And I'm like, oh, God, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt,
It's
Sean, but
frustrating. No, it's fine. I
it's
mean,
deeply
like I said,
frustrating.
I don't think I could have said it better myself. I will say this: I did look up their repertoire before for
Hmm.
Eurovision, and they did different things. They're much more country than this, and that frustrates me
Mm.
even more. That I feel like they had to basicify their
Yeah,
music for Eurovision. I think if they did
bring a
something
bit of
more
country. Why
country,
not? Common Linnets. Let's go.
yeah, yeah, and ultimately, the sum total of it all just feels very fake for me. And
Mm.
I do think that this is going to be bottom three. I do think
And
this
then
is going to be
and then the
bottom three.
delegation and everybody in the UK is gonna go, oh, why do we even bother? Europe hate us. It's all political. Da 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 da.
Brexit,
And
Nigel
then they have
Farage,
short-term memory
Brexit.
loss about the fact that Sam Ryder came second because he actually had a good song and he had a personality. But
Eston,
anyway,
what do you think?
business as usual.
Ah,
But he's biased
I
because he interviewed them. You've been
and I
swayed by the
met them,
personality.
and yeah, but
but you shouldn't be.
this was already high in my top before that. It did go up a few places after it, but I actually did like the messiness and the kind of chaos, and the girls sell it so well. I'm excited to see what they can do on stage, because if it is like a fun musical on the Eurovision stage, then I think a lot of people can get behind it. They sing, of course, perfectly, so the jury points should, let's be honest, roll in. Maybe not a lot, but definitely around, I don't know, 75 to 100, I would expect from the jury.
For what?
Oh,
For what?
how many did Lucy Jones get? Let's roll back the tape.
With a better song
So
and an equally good vocal.
yeah, you can hear everything, the background of them coming to Husavik, of course, on my channel, but of course now on the Eurotrip podcast as well. I'm on the latest episode there with Erliger talking about the background, but this song I like, and I feel like a lot of casuals can really get behind this and do get behind it because it's a fun song. The girls perform it well. If they get the staging right, it's just a fun 3-minute musical on stage. And why so much negativity about such a fun song? I really don't get it. I get your
That
points,
musical ain't be
but I
selling
don't
out.
necessarily agree with a lot of them. So I
That
will just
musical is gonna be
enjoy.
giving away free tickets.
I will just enjoy the 3-minute musical on stage, and I will absolutely be rooting for them.
Giorgio, speak some sense into this guy, please.
Well, first of all, the only positivity and praise I've heard for this song, apart from ESTON, is only from Britons. Like, nobody else cares or likes this song, and I can see why. I mean, those three girls look great. They sound great. I love the visuals in the music video, but come on, this song is objectively unlistenable. Like, there's so much going on. It's impossible to connect with it. It doesn't make you feel anything. And I feel like the UK is once again a waste of space in the final. And people, like the general public, are going to see this after last year, which was impossible to look at from how cringe it was. After 2 years ago, it was unlistenable. And what was her name? I don't remember.
May
I wrote a
Muller.
song by May Muller. She's not meant to be on stage. Like she's a BBC Radio 2 singer, but she's not meant to be on stage. Like people
She had a
are
much
going
better
to,
song.
yeah, but people are going to look at the
Mm.
UK and think, I mean, this is the biggest music industry in the continent. They gave us the
Right.
Beatles, they gave us Adele, they gave us Amy Winehouse, and now they're giving us this. Is this a joke? And that's why I think that this is a major candidate for zero from the Televo. I
Yeah,
personally
I think
don't
it's
hate the
possible.
song. I don't hate the song, but this is so getting one digit from the Televo. I agree with Aston that the jury might give it something, but this is going to languish at the bottom of the final scoreboard. I can see very few countries doing worse, and it's countries that are going to qualify by luck, such as Ireland or yeah, or Iceland
I mean,
maybe.
Adam here agrees with Eston. He can see the UK finishing right side of the table. I can't see juries blanking it. The
I won't
thing is,
blank it. We'll give it little.
I can actually see the juries giving this some points, but this is a lose lose in my opinion. Like if the juries give this points, I am going to keep producing content which is going to expose the complete double standards of the juries. Because this song, I mean, you can tell me what you want about the vocals. And if the juries reward this, we can say that they rewarded it for the vocals. But Nutsa
Yeah,
Buzaladze
musically
and
there's
Raven
nothing
last
there.
year,
Mm.
Nutsa and Raven last year had two of the best vocals of the whole competition. They did
But the
not get
songs
more than
weren't jury
30
friendly.
points. I don't care what is jury friendly though. What the juries are supposed to be music industry professionals. We are
Mm.
Most of
discussing
them
here
are
what
radio
should be.
professionals.
So if we're gonna say that the jury should reward vocals, it should be consistent. And you're not gonna convince me that the juries reward vocals when Raven and Nutsa Buzaladze combined get less than
Mm.
30 points, and when Il Volo are robbed of a Eurovision win with that vocal performance.
Right.
So
Most
where
of
this
them are
comes in
radio
the
professionals,
jury,
though.
I'm gonna have something to say about the jury.
But then again,
And
each
then
year the juries are different and the songs are completely different as well. Plus,
Mm.
uh, yeah,
overall package and all the other things that they vote based on. Yeah, it's
we're
difficult to
cutting
compare.
different slices of ham from the same leg. Energus asks, "What do you think? Which country from the Big Five could receive 0 points?" Energus,
Oh, here we go.
I think this is the one. I think this is the one. I genuinely could see the UK getting
Mm.
zero from the televote. From the
Yeah.
televote, I
Yeah.
don't think the jury will give it
I think
zero.
maybe something from Ireland because they're good neighbors.
Iceland will for sure give this points, so not
Do they
getting a
even know
zero.
that they're there?
They
Now they
love
do.
it. Yes, it's all over the Icelandic
Wow.
media and radios and TV. The locals, like this stage back there was packed. There were at least 100 people from the town of Husavik coming to see the premiere
I
of
mean,
their
final
Husavik
thing
cover.
happens there. It's in the
And
middle
I
of
mean, there are
nowhere.
100 people that live in Husavik anyway. So no, but
Yeah.
so
Right.
Just,
That's all of
just a little
Iceland.
bit more. So basically, the whole town came here, and Iceland is for sure giving this points.
1 point
Good
from
to
Iceland.
know.
I don't know. I mean, Iceland also gave points to Hera Bjork instead of Bashar Murad, but we don't talk about that enough,
Well,
and we
I
won't be
understand
starting
them.
on this channel. Um, the UK over and out, and we're gonna be finishing off with Germany. But just before we start, I want to say thank you to whoever's watching and whoever is commenting. We did very well in this year's live streams. I'm so humbled. And obviously take this moment to subscribe and come and follow me on all sorts of social media, where we can take the conversation further. Because Eurovision, we're in the final stretch now. We are in the final stretch. Two of us are going to be in Basel, myself and Sophie, and we're going to be up close to the action. Yeah, come and subscribe and come and talk to us in the comments and on social media. Okay, Eston, I'm going to start with you on Germany because I don't know, you speak a bit of German, don't you?
Ja, ich kann es ein bisschen sprechen, aber
Yeah.
I will still do it in English. This could get 0 points. This is the
No.
get 0 points. Personally, it's my least favorite of the Big Five and the host. I think it's like 30th or 29th in my ranking at the moment. Probably should put it up a little bit because when it came out, it was totally unlistenable to me. It was the most annoying song of the whole year. Like, just stop, no skip. I don't skip it anymore, and it is growing on me. It is growing on me, but I mean, we haven't heard a proper live performance of this.
That is true.
Will she be fine for Eurovision? I don't know. Like, we just don't have any information, because if they perform like they did in the national final, this is getting 0 points from the jury and the public votes. This will get nothing. And I can see it just being left somewhere. Like, this isn't really... why would people vote for this? I don't really get it. There's nothing for me, really. Like, it's an okay song. Yeah, okay. Like, I get it. 3 minutes, I can listen to it. I can get through those. But no,
But it's a
maybe it's
sacrifice,
just
isn't
me.
it?
Maybe it's just me. But yeah, Germany is still staying towards the bottom for me, and I think for a lot of people this year as well.
In the words of Alicia Dixon, he likes nothing, the boy likes nothing. except I changed the lyrics to accommodate the scenario which we are in. Sophie, what do you think about
I had to double check where I've got it in my rankings because I didn't remember, but I've got it 21st. So it's very middle of the road for me. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's just kind of there. The German selection this year was quite a painful watch, to be honest. There was not a lot of quality there, really. A few okay
Stefan
songs,
Raab,
and this
get
was
out.
one of them.
Girl, I mean, props to you for getting through that evening. I didn't watch.
It was rough. Yeah, I don't recommend that. But
Poor you.
you know, this was probably the best pick. I know a lot of people liked.
Did you have to blog?
No.
Okay.
I put myself through that willingly.
Oh, wow. Voluntarily.
Yeah, unfortunately for me.
You're a martyr.
No, it was. You know, selections like that are kind of interesting to watch, though, because it's just kind of like everything's so bad, it's almost funny. Like, you know, it's kind of one of those. But this was
It's like
one of the
San
better
Marino.
ones. Exactly. Maybe not.
But
quite
even
so bad.
worse.
But, although San Marino was
Even
actually really
worse.
good this year. I actually think
Yeah.
that was a really good selection this year. But that's
San Marino, compared to what we had in Germany this year, was top tier.
I think San Marino is just slept on because there are so many. But when we get to the final, I think San Marino is objectively pretty good.
Yeah. This year definitely
Decent.
was.
It's decent.
But yeah, so for Germany, yeah, okay. This is a decent pick. Yeah, it is a little bit irritating, but it's also kind of catchy. It comes on like if I'm at an event, I'll enjoy it, I'll bop along. But you know, I think that's kind of the extent of it, really. It doesn't do much more than that. And for that reason, I don't see it doing particularly well. But I appreciate that it's in German, even though they're Austrian, aren't they? So maybe they'll get some
They're
points. from Austria.
Hungarian.
Oh, they're Hungarian.
They are Hungarian. Yeah, they're Hungarian. They live in Vienna.
Oh.
And
They even
there's
did the Hungarian version of this.
Oh, did they? I'm
Yeah.
so out of
They
the
are.
loop.
So,
Yeah.
But, I
Not
mean,
not that matters, but you know, it's
this
just nice that
year
it's in German.
is a bit odd because I mean, Sweden needed 3 Finns to finally sing in Swedish. Germany needs 2 Hungarians to finally sing in German. Like, what the hell?
Well, they can't
just
represent
happened? What
Hungary,
is going on?
because they
Yeah.
did what they had to do to get to Eurovision. Fair enough. But yeah, it's okay. That's I don't have much more to say about it, really. It's just kind of there.
I'm gonna surprise y'all. I'm usually the germphobe, and when I say that, I don't mean that I'm scared of bacteria. I'm scared of anything that Germany sends to Eurovision in the last few years. But I like this. I like it. I mean, I like it because this is radio friendly without being try hard. Like, this is not the Melfest stereotypical really overproduced track that is doing so to be radio friendly. I feel like this is genuinely radio friendly because it just so happens to be. And it actually displays the side of the German music industry, which is both current and relevant. And I love that it's in German. I mean, Germany, fly your flag finally. You know, you've been serving trash for the last X years, in my opinion. I don't think I've liked the song from Germany since Cascada, with the exception of
Absolute banger, by the way.
Malik Harris, which I had a bit of a soft spot for. But
Not even
this
Michael
is
Schultz.
same. I feel like meh,
Gosh, I'm having
meh,
to look up what Germany was last year because I forgot. That's not a good
meh.
sign, is it?
Run to the...
Oh no.
Mm.
No, don't torture me. I thought you were my friends.
He was
I
really
like
lovely
this
though. We
song.
met him and he was like one of the nicest people.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. This one I definitely prefer to last year. I love that it's in German, but we have to talk about the vocal performance. And it's true, we have not had a decent vocal performance. Tomorrow's the 1st of May. We still haven't had a decent vocal performance. I mean, it would be very embarrassing for Stefan Raab actually to be responsible of a selection that sends an artist that cannot sing live. That would be very embarrassing from the man who we think is the only one that can get Germany somewhere.
We
I
thought that before this year.
Yeah,
Let's be honest, like we don't
we need to
anymore.
see. We need to see how this goes. I think this actually would be a song that benefits from being in the first half in the final. Um, I think it could get the party started, but this is the one with the biggest question marks for me, and I'm really curious to see what the delivery is going to be like on May 17th. Giorgio, what do you think of Germany? Oh, sorry,
Georgia's
I am muted.
gone, or
You're muted, my friend. Oh,
he's
Giorgio
still
is
is
frozen.
not here.
Well,
Speechless.
until
Oh no,
Giorgio
can you guys hear
returns, I'm
me?
gonna pull up some
Hello?
comments. Oh,
Oh,
there he is. There he is. Yes, we can hear
I'm
you.
here. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Can we have your 12 points, please?
Like, can you hear me?
or your 0
Yes, no,
points.
for Germany, of course. I don't hate this song as much as Eston does, but I do agree with him that the song is not going to do well at all. Like, there's no reason for the public or for the juries to vote for it. It doesn't really say anything. It doesn't really stand out. And one big issue is, of course, the vocals, which can't be curbed with pre-recorded vocals, which are now allowed at Eurovision, of course. And as you said, Sean, like you're excited to hear German back at Eurovision, but I don't think that the general public is going to care a lot because German is not really a well-liked language by people. So people
That
would
is
rather
true.
hear in English from certain countries. Yeah, but as fans, we're all happy to hear it again. And as you said, if Germany is going to send hot garbage, it might as well be in their own language. So
And I mean,
I
we all
have
said the same thing
very low
about Dutch at
expectations.
Eurovision.
Yeah, but I have very low expectations for this song's performance, both live and points wise, as Aston said. And even though I don't hate it, it's pretty low in my top, and I see no reason to listen to it, I guess, but I can see why it has its fan base, and I'm glad that it charted pretty high in Germany
That is a good
currently.
sign, actually.
Mm.
That is a good sign for a German Eurovision song. Amazia says that Germany is the best of the big five this year. Um, I
Well,
No, I
good for
don't
you.
agree. I don't agree. I don't agree.
Mm.
Germany is the opposite of the UK. Decent song, but I'm worried about Tina's vocals. Yeah, Adam,
Mm.
I think most of us are worried about Tina's vocals. I think that is a Pandora's box that will be unlocked when we get to Basel.
But to be honest, even with good vocals, I still don't see it doing well. Like I don't see a scenario where it comes top 15.
Me neither.
It would be lucky to escape the bottom 6. So I think this is
I think it's going to be locked in the bottom 3, actually. Like, I think this is a bit disastrous for Germany.
I mean, it depends who comes from the semis as well, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm quite confident this will be the lowest of the big 5 and automatic qualifiers. Let's put it that way. It's a safe lock for that.
What the hell?
Yeah, I mean,
It's one of them.
Portugal, Slovenia.
See, us in Germany, we have this.
Go ahead, Sophie.
Us in Germany, we have this sort of get the most last places. So we'll see what happens this year. It's I can see it being one of them.
I mean, it's still Norway that has the most
we got a
last
worse
places,
place
but
Norway were unlucky last year. Just before we close this live stream, our points. So, Giorgio, you're new to this. So this year, before every live stream, I've gathered everyone's rank for the countries we are talking about in this live stream, and I've given points accordingly. And I can say our combined 6th place, 2 of us think they are last, they should be last. 2 of us think they should be second to last. Our 6th place is Germany. Our 5th place, and that might be because of me, is the United Kingdom. In 4th is Italy. In 3rd is France. In 2nd is Spain. And in 1st, and this was in everyone's top 2, is Switzerland.
Yay!
I'm surprised, but pleasantly
I'm happy with
surprised.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what?
Switzerland.
That's actually
is second.
exactly my top 6 for today. Oh my god! Wow.
It is. Yeah, it is.
I'm impressed.
It is.
How popular my taste?
Georgia decided top 5 or top 6.
Isaac, I think that's perfectly respectable. Yeah. I really, really, really respect that opinion.
Isaac, I agree with you as well.
I wish I meet you in person, Isaac. I think you have excellent opinions. I can't wait to meet
me
you
too.
one day.
I'll agree with you in person.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. That's what we think about the Big 5 and the Small 31. We have talked about every Eurovision song in 2025. What are you laughing at?
The little 31.
The Small 31.
Yeah, we have talked about every single song on our live streams, and thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being here. We will be back, at least some of us will be back, on Eurovision week. Our first live stream comes on Monday, the 12th of May, where we will be cooking up some predictions for semi-final 1. So we will adjourn to Monday, the 12th of May. But until then, I'm gonna give you guys one more video, just one more video. Stay tuned. You'll see it this weekend, hopefully.
The interview.
I'm gonna be with Sara Bonnici. Yes, I have exclusively revealed that. So stay tuned. We will be talking with the girl herself, and we will be catching her drift about this year's songs. Thank you for watching, Sophie, ESTON, and Giorgio. The pleasure is always mine. Good night, Europe. Subscribe, and we will see you later. Bye-bye.
And good morning.